Latest on the case of the 4 Idaho college students murdered back in 2022. And Gayle's with us with more. Gayle.
Gag order in the case against the killer. His name is Bryan Kohberger. This after Kohberger accepted a deal to plead guilty to the murders of the 4 students. The families have waited nearly 3 years, think about that for a second, for a trial that was originally scheduled to begin just a few weeks from now. Joining us now is the family of one of the students, Kristi Goncalves. Her parents are Steve and Kristi. They're joining us along with their attorney, Shannon Gray. Guys, I'm so sorry that you're here under these circumstances, but I really want people to know your story. You know, when this first happened, it was something that really shocked the nation, shocked all of us. The brutality of it was still something that was so stomach-turning. But for you, this has been a life-changing event. Your lives will never be the same. And I'm wondering, Steve, if you could start us off with how you all got the news and how you heard about the news.
It was a normal Sunday. We were watching football, family all together. We got a phone call from a cousin that said they had family that was down in Moscow and that there was cops in an ambulance around our daughter's house. Mm-hmm. While they were sitting there, there was rumors, but basically a vandal alert came out that said there was 4 dead.
Yeah, that's an alert from the school.
Yeah, the college sent out an alert. That's how we found out our daughter was gone.
And the reason why I think this is so important that we're sitting here today, I think most people think the families know all the details of the case, about everything that has happened, Kristi. And that's why it's so important as you sit here today that the gag order has been lifted. Because I'm thinking you all know all the details of what happened to your daughter that night, but you were telling me that you actually don't.
No, we don't. We don't know any more than pretty much everybody else. So with this gag order being lifted, it will allow us to know more of what happened to our daughter.
Steve, why do you want to know the details? Some people would say the fact that he's going to plead guilty, that he will be in prison for the rest of his life, that he will never be released. You won't have to go through the trial and hear some of the most gruesome things that you've ever heard. Why do you want to hear the details?
I think by hiding the truth, we're protecting our killers. We have to show the ugliness of what this person did. We're writing our victims' impact statements, and we don't even know what the impact is because they've hid the impact from all of us. Mm-hmm. I don't want gruesome crime scene photos or blood or gore or anything like that, but I need to know the facts of what, how many times was my daughter stabbed? Was she choked? What happened? And that should be part of our victims' statement, and they're robbing us. And they're protecting the killer still. To this day, they're still protecting a guy.
Who admitted to killing her.
Yeah, It doesn't make any sense to us.
Tell me why you want to know that. Why you want to know those specific details. It's painful for me to just hear it, you know?
I want people to understand that we have to hold people to a different standard when they end life. When you end life, you can't. I want school shootings to stop. I want these mass shootings to stop. And I think you can't do that by just brushing it under the table, putting a gag order, wrapping it up in a bow and say, he pleaded guilty, it's all done. Let's just move on. Mm-hmm. I think we can do better than that.
Mm-hmm. Lifting the gag order, Shannon, you say is important too. Why? Because, they know some of the details, but I'm surprised to hear they don't know all the details.
Well, it's a couple of things. You obviously, the discovery in the case, right? We now could have access to the discovery in the case. We already had a meeting with the prosecutor's office in this case and asked them for a copy of the discovery.
And giving you discovery would do what?
Police reports, the university, or it's Idaho State Police, Moscow Police Department, the FBI, all have investigative reports, the investigation that was done, photographs, pictures, all of those things that are part of the discovery gives us an opportunity to find some answers that they don't have right now. And then you also have the court, all the filings with the court that can be unsealed. We obviously know that most of that stuff will be redacted to protect the information of those privileged, which it should. But all of that information is very important, and it's important that the prosecution keeps their promise to the victim's family and gives them a copy of that discovery. But because if you have to go through the normal course, you do public records requests, through all the agencies, and it could take years to get all that information.
Kristi and Steve, were you surprised when he actually finally did plead guilty? Because it's been my understanding you thought he was guilty for a long time. When you actually heard that when you actually heard him say the words, did that surprise you to hear him admit to it?
No, wouldn't you plead guilty to save your life?
Mm-hmm.
a simple yes, yes, yes. Get up and do it once. Go sit in front of the courtroom and say yes. I think it was 41 times, guilty 5 times, something like that. But I mean, if you're going to save your life
Yeah, I think he
and
has,
not be on death row,
he wants control. He wants to be able to have that final say of how this is going to end, and that's part of the reason why we would have asked for them to make some negotiations and made him prove where the weapon was or the kill kit, all these details, because those are the details that the conspiracy theorists would have to be like, okay, it's over, it's done.
Life in prison with no chance of parole is still not good enough for you. Some families say, listen, I'm just glad to know that he's not going to get out, that he can't do this to anyone else again. That's not good enough for you because you think about the type of life he would lead in prison, Steve?
Yeah, he's dedicated his life. He has a master's degree in criminology. He knows that he can write legal papers for other prisoners and work favors. He can still have influence. This man killed my daughter. I want him to have no influence in the world anymore. And he's going to still be able to do interviews. He's still going to be able to
help fellow inmates, with things.
get them prescriptions. All these type of things will give him a better and more rewarding life inside, I call it adult care. Prison is just like adult care. So it's my daughter deserved better than that.
Yeah, what is it like for you? I know you've been in the courtroom. What is it like for you to sit and see him? I often wonder, I've seen you on TV from the very beginning, Steve. You've been very outspoken, and every time I see you, I wonder how he's getting through it. What is it like for you to sit and see him?
It's disgusting, I hate being in that courtroom. I hate people protecting evil. And they protect evil in there, and that's very hard for a father to deal with. I don't want anyone to have to go through that, but yeah, I mean.
Do you guys feel he's been remorseful?
No, not at all.
He's shown zero remorse, not one bit. He's like a robot, a killing robot. And
would that be helpful to you if he showed remorse?
I think it would. I think it would be because, maybe he could go in there and say, I went in there for one person, I lusted, I had a moment, I was drunk or I was on drugs, and it just went crazy. That would make more sense.
We still, as a public, we still don't know the motive. Do you all know the motive?
No.
No. And I don't think they want anyone to know the motive. I don't think they want anyone to know when he first came on their radar. I've heard different dates on that. That's accountability that they're getting out of with a gag order and sealing things. I want full accountability.
Do you think they know the motive, Shannon, with all the information that they have?
I don't think they
Prosecutors
do.
and officials, yeah.
I mean, I think they're guessing. I think it's, we'll get a copy of that discovery. We'll have a chance to make our own opinions on it. But I think motive was always an issue. They didn't know what the motive was, right? They knew they had a defendant that was...
Yeah, we hear different things.
Right.
So I was curious. But I can't get over your daughter, Kaylee. Every time I see her picture, it does make me smile. You see the video of her. She was so full of life. And she and Maddie, there you are, Steve. She and Maddie seem to have been best friends for a very long time. How do you all get through this? How do you process it? How do you keep her memory alive? It's nice to see you smile when you talk about her, but I'm wondering, I know it's very difficult.
For me, I
Kristi?
focus on the other babies. I focus on
How
right
many
now.
children do you have? Other
We
children?
have 5. Kaylee was the middle of 5, and we all talk about her all the time, every day. There's not a day that
Is that helpful?
It is.
Yeah.
It is. And we constantly see new pictures, and we have friends that will send me pictures or text me pictures or send them to us, and so seeing new pictures are always the light of our day. But videos have gotten really hard for me to watch. I used to be able to watch them, but videos and hearing her voice and like seeing her laughing or whatnot.
And I'll bet it comes in waves. For you, Steve?
Yeah, I focus a lot on the kids. Like yesterday, we brought one of our kids out to New York with us, and it was on her bucket list.
Yeah.
She's about to go to college, so we just really love being around her. And she's doing pranks, and she's just reminding us of Kaylee all over again, and that's what I try to focus on.
And I'll let you go with this because I have seen you from the very beginning. What would be the most helpful to you from people who are watching you and feeling for you and sympathizing? What would be the most helpful for you?
I would say, I hate to say it, but if any other family has to go through something like this, get a lawyer, fight as much as you can, honor your child to the very end, do everything you can, let the world know that we got to get better. We got to stop doing these killings. We got to treat people better.
Yeah.
This is no way to do it.
You were right about that. Thank you guys for coming in. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Tony and Adriana.
Gayle, thank you very much, and thank you to the family for gracing us with their time this morning. We really appreciate it.